This was the most hopeless night in her 3 years of marriage. Looking at the cut on her neck that nearly pierced a vital vein, she was shaken and could hardly believe that when her husband knew she was being held hostage, he could still say such cold and heartless words, "Call me again only when a body appears." At this moment Shiju could only curl up in the corner, while a seed of hatred began to grow inside her. As she was serving food, her husband rushed back home out of breath, but his words showed not a trace of concern. "So you're still alive." The cold words cut into her heart like a knife, but she didn't know he had truly worried about her earlier. Just then his assistant called. The assistant explained it was a virtual overseas number. It could only be tracked live, and only if the call lasted more than 10 minutes. Hearing this, Shiju realized her husband hadn't done nothing. Her emotions slowly began to settle. 3 years ago Shiju took her missing sister's place, and married by Yen, the presidential spokesman. What should have been a grand wedding became private instead. She knew she was only a sacrifice in a political deal, so his coldness toward her seemed natural. For 3 years she remembered her wedding vows, never to reveal she was by Yen's wife. The only reason she attended the embassy event today was because the ambassador's wife was hearing impaired and needed a sign language interpreter, but she never expected that during the event the ambassador's wife mistook her for his spouse, so she quickly explained she was not by Yen's wife. He explained that his wife was his greatest weakness, and he would face attacks from all sides. He said he didn't want her exposed to such attacks, so he had hidden and protected her all these years. The ambassador praised him as a romantic, but Shiju's face turned pale, because she realized her husband was openly making things up. Later she stopped him, and asked how he could claim to protect his weakness, when all she felt was battered and fragile, barely holding on. What he said yesterday was completely different from what he was saying now, but since Yen couldn't understand sign language,